Hi, welcome back to the Tableau tutorial series. I am Majid. In this video, we are going to deep dive into the parameters in Tableau. We will learn how to create what is a parameter, how can we create a parameter in Tableau, and we will also see how the parameters will help us to create the dynamic and interactive charts or visualizations in Tableau. So, what is a parameter? So parameter is nothing but a user controlled value for calculations, filters or reference line. Okay. So they are independent. They are not tied to a specific data type. We can create any type of parameters inside the Tableau. Also, we can use the same parameter across the visualizations. It's not bounded to a specific visualization or a chart, and they help us to make our visualization interactive. So this is the step-by-step guide to create a parameter. So we will create one parameter or first parameter in Tableau. So first, to create a parameter, you can click anywhere inside the data pane, then create and sorry, then create and the parameter. So here you can provide the name to the parameter. Okay, so we will follow the slide. So sales threshold. So I will name it as sales threshold. Then it will be a float type and we will provide the range what is given. Okay, so we will decide. So minimum, let's say 0. The maximum, keep it as 3000. It depends on the values present in our field, in which field or with which field we are going to use the parameter. Okay, we will increase the value according to the mean and maximum range. So in this way we can create a parameter. So we have created our first parameter, that is sales threshold, and the created parameters can be used in the calculation fields or the filters inside the Tableau. Now we will see the first use case of parameter, that is top-n analysis. It will help the user or the end user pick how many top products they want to show on the visualization or they want to see on the visualization. So first we will create a parameter and we will name it as top-n. So right click, create, and then the parameter, we will name it as top-n. Then I will select this as an integer and the range minimum I will select as top 5, and then you can keep it depending on your need, and the maximum is top 100 is okay, and I will increase the step size from 1 to 10. Okay, now click OK. In this way we have created the top n parameter named top n. Now I will right click on it and then I will click the show parameter. Okay, in this way we can change the values of this parameter with the help of slider. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to create a calculated field. Okay, so create, then calculated field. Okay, and we will name it as top n products. Then I will write a rank. We are going to rank the entity based on the sum of we need to use the square bracket sum of cells. Close it, and then should be less than equal to the parameter value, that is top n. So in this way we can create the calculated field using a parameter. Now we can drag this into the filter. Only true values, select true to select or to get the values which are true to the filter. That means now we have selected the top 5. So the values or the products which have ranking less than 5, that means top 5 rankers will only get true value, and according to that only those will be showed on the screen. Okay, so sales and the product, the product name, add all, and you can see only top 5 rankers or the top 5 based on the sum of sales product has been shown on the screen. So first is Canon image, then we have Cisco. In this way we have these 5. We can increase that. Okay, now you can see top 15 earners. In this way we can interactively change the visualization to get the required top rankers or the required top selling products or top revenue products. In this way we can use the parameter. Then the second use case of parameter is to select the measures dynamically. Okay, so I will create one more parameter, create, then parameter. I will name it as metric into bracket measure, then the string, correct, the list. Okay, I will remove these all and I will add here the sales, then profit, quantity, and the discount. Okay, so now I will click OK. In this way we have created the new parameter called metric. Okay, okay, now I will create a calculated field. Create calculated field. I will name it as measure selector. Okay, I will remove this, then I will use a case, then the metric, when quantity, then the I will select quantity, when sales, then sales when the discount, whenever the value of metric is, sorry, whenever the value, yes, whenever the value of parameter that is called metric is discount, then select the discount measure. And we can use when also or the else. I will use when. So when profit, then select the profit and end. In this way, we can create the calculated field with the help of case to select the matrix dynamic in a dynamic way. Okay, now I will right click on the measure, metric parameter and show parameter. In this way, now we are able to see the parameter in the visualization. Now I will drag the created measure selected calculated field into the rows and then the category into the columns, and you can see category versus measure selector. For now it is sales, so sales versus the category bar chart has been displayed on the view. Now I will select the profit and you can see now profit versus category bar chart, then quantity versus category and the discount versus category bar. In this way, we in a single chart we have created the 4 charts with the help of metric, that is our parameter. Now if you see on the visualization, we are plotting category versus the discount that we are able to understand from the parameter value. But if we look the visualization directly, then we are not able to understand because it is showing measure selector versus category. So to change it, right click on it, then edit axis, okay, then in title, in place of custom, select the metric measure, okay, and in this way, now you can see easily we can, whenever we change the parameter, now the title on the y-axis is also getting changed. So now it is profit, now quantity. In this way we can dynamically change the label on the axis also. Okay, in this way we can use the parameter to select measure dynamically. The third use case is to use the dimensions dynamically. Same thing, create one more parameter, name it as, we'll follow this slide, okay, dimension, I'll name it as dimension, then select data type as string and then list and add category field, then this region and the subcategory. Okay, click OK. Now right click on the created parameter and show parameter. Okay, again we need to create a calculated field, and here I will name it as dimension selector. Then we will use the case again, case, the parameter name, that is dimension when dimension is category, then select the category when dimension is region, then select the region, and when the dimension value is subcategory, then select the subcategory, then end keyword. In this way we can create a dimension selector, apply, okay. Now I will drag this to the column, okay, and the cells to the rows. Now with the help of parameter, dimension selector parameter, we can change the graph. In this way we can make the graph dynamic, okay. But here also the same problem. Now we are getting the label, correct label on the y-axis but not on the x-axis. Here we are getting the dimension selector, but we cannot change it dynamically. This name, it will show dimension selector only, okay. In for that, what we need to do is edit title. We can edit the title, and here we can name it as sales versus, I will insert the parameter dimension, okay. We can increase the size also. I will make it 20, apply, and okay. Now you can understand from the title of the sheet that where this graph is about sales versus region. And now I will, or we can hide this, okay. In this way we can make our graph look more attractive and correct, easy to understand. The next use case of parameter is to use the date control, okay. So for that I will again create a parameter, right click, then create, and then parameter. I will name it as a reference date, okay. It will be of date type, and the value is 01, then the month is 01 and 2024, okay. I will make a list. So minimum is 24 and maximum is 2019, because our data set lies within this range, okay, or within this interval, that's why. Then okay. Now right click and show parameter. Here we can change the date, okay. Now I will create a calculated field. We will follow the name reference, okay. Name is not given, okay. I will name it as range selector, the date range selector, and then the order date should be greater than equals to the parameter name, that is reference date. Apply and the OK. So now I will track the region and the sales. Okay, and I will drag the date range selector into the filter, and I will only select the true. That means whichever the values lies within this range or within the order date is greater than the reference date, those records will only be selected while creating the visualization. Okay, now I will change the date. You can see the visualization will get changed, right? So in this way we can use the parameter to select the records based on the date. In the another use case of parameter is to create a reference line, okay, or the target line. So create one more parameter, Control A. I will name it as target to follow the flow. So this will be a float type. Okay, let's consider the value as, let's say, 10,000, and here 1 lakh, and the step size is 10,000. Okay. Okay, now right click on the parameter and show parameter. Now I will take a category and the sales. Okay, now to use this target parameter as a reference line, what we need to do is we need to right click on the sales axis or the y axis and then add reference line. Here in value select the target. Okay, you can select the thickness of the line. Okay, I will increase it, and also we can select the color. So I will select the red one. Okay, and select OK. In this way we can create the reference line. Now I will increase the value and you can see the target line will pop up. Okay, but the sum of cells or the values are very large, that's why our target line is at the bottom. So what will I do is I will change the aggregate from sum to average. Now they are very huge. Okay, that means the target is very large when compared to the average values. So I will keep this sum, and I will modify the target parameter from 10,000 to 1 lakh. This is 10 lakh. Okay, now you can see the reference line. So this is very helpful when it comes to, let's say we have a target to achieve. Let's say we want to see which category earned, or which category the sale in which category cross the, let's say, 7 lakh. Okay, so you can see only the technology category has crossed the 7 lakh mark, not only, yes, 7 lakh 60,000 mark has been crossed by technology category and not the office supplies and furniture. They are also earning, or they are also giving us the revenue of more than 7 lakh but less than 7 lakh 60,000. In this way, we can use the reference line to see which category perform best and which are not performing well. In this way, we can use the parameter. Then we can use the parameter for forecasting. Okay. So let's say we want to, okay, I will create and then explain. Create parameter. Okay. Forecast. Then float, or you can select integer also. The range from -100, maximum +100, and step size is, let's say, 5%. 5. In this way, right click and show parameter. Now I will create a calculated field. I will follow the now. Okay. So forecast only. So I will name it as sales forecast. And here, what we will do is, we will take the sum of sales into one plus the forecast parameter, forecast, divided by 100. Okay. So click apply and okay. Now I will take this into the text, and I will also drag the sales into the text. Now I will change the parameter value, and you can see values getting changed. Okay. Okay. I will use the category. Okay. Now you will see how values will get changed. So that means if we forecast 35% increase in the revenue or the sum of sales in each category, then what will be the value? Okay. So this is the bottom row is our actual values, and the first row is the forecasted or the predicted revenue. So if we are predicting 35% decline in the revenue, then the value will be 4,82,000. Okay, in this way, we can see, we can use the parameter for forecasting. So the next use case of parameter is range filtering. Okay. So for that, first I will create two. Here we need to create two parameters. So first will be main sales, float value, minimum. Okay, all correct. Then I will create one more parameter. It's max sales. I will keep the same values. Okay. Now I will create a calculated field. Create calculated field, and I will use that. Okay. Range sales range selection. Okay, and if the sum of sales, sum of sales or normal sales. So if you take normal sales, then for each order or each row, we will check the sales in each order. Okay, but if we select the sum, then it will get aggregated. So I will select only the sales to filter the orders, each order. Okay, if sales is greater than equals to mean sale and sale is less than equal to max sale. Okay, now we'll put this into the filters. Okay, nothing is selected, that's why it is showing false. So first I will right click on the mean sale and then show parameter, then max sale, show parameter, and I will select a range. Okay, now I will drag category, then sales, sorry, profit, or I will select sale. Then I will drag this calculated field, that is, we name it as sale range selection, to the filter, and I will select true, apply, and OK. So now the orders with sales value greater than 0 and less than 1700 are only selected, and according to that we have calculated the sum of sale for each category. Okay, if I increase this, you can see the chart has been changed. So in this way we can use the parameter for range filtering. So always show parameter on dashboard for visibility. Okay, otherwise how can the end user will change the parameter so to change the visualization or dynamically. For that we need to change the parameter. For that we need to show the parameter on dashboard. We need to use the clear and descriptive names to the parameter. Okay, from name itself we should be able to understand the use case or the primary focus of that parameter. We can also provide the default sensible default values. That means even though the user is not changing the parameter, it should the value or the visualization should be the most suitable value. Okay, in this way we can combine different parameters or many parameters in a single chart to filter. We can also use the parameter to filter to get the optimum user interface or to optimize the user experience. So we have seen what are parameters, how can we create the parameter inside the Tableau, then also the use case of parameters, different use cases like top and select. For like we use the parameter for top and selection, then dynamically we can select the measure or the dimension with the help of parameter. In this way we can use the parameter to make the visualization dynamic. Hope you like this video. Do like, share and subscribe to the channel. Also turn on the notification for new videos. If you have any question, comment it below. If you want the resources used in this video, you can visit our Telegram channel. Link will be in description. See you in the next video.